What's going on, gamers? It's your host, Valentine. Welcome to a new series and the channel. This series is called Embers of History. Yeah, I know, we're going to go with that. Where I go over world versus world fights and encounters to give a reading of what took place. You know, you got wins and losses that happen on the battlefield, and we're going to get into the why things like that happen. Why do we win? Why do we lose? You know, what's the read on the battlefield? What's the read on this? If you find this informative or entertaining, or perhaps both, and you're also a World v. World fanatic, or you're looking into getting into World v. World, it's not too late. World vs. World offers perhaps the least grinding way for you to earn your legendary armors, so if that's a bit of an incentive, I would give World v. World a shot, because the only other options you have are PvE and PvP. So kind of a pick, but PvE stuff, it takes longer and more resources than it does for World vs. World. World vs. World, easiest, probably the easiest way of getting legendary armors. Unless you're earning them through some other shady means. Anyhow, or legitimate means, whichever, But if you're looking to just get some legendaries, check it out. World vs. World also offers unique experiences every single time you play, such is the nature of online gaming. That's just what you're going to get. So, without further ado, let's get into it. It's kind of a step-by-step on what's going on here, because there's a lot that happens very quickly, and if you're not paying attention, this can go over your head very quickly. So what's going to happen is we're going to roll up here. Okay. You see red's trying to stack over here. Now, the important thing to understand is that red, you can't see it, but you've seen this play enough times where they're stacking on the other side of this wall. Okay. Right now we're kind of debating on who's going to cross this choke point right here. Okay, so red stacking up over here, and so what our commander is going to go ahead and do is our commander is going to go ahead and head over and stack on the other side of the wall, just parallel to them. Now, what just took place is that red tried to move in while we were trying to set up. Now, I do want to note something else too that's very crucial and important. My positioning. All right. So normally I don't play in the back. I don't typically play in the kind of back line like that. Mostly just because it's mostly inefficient. And the numbers might say that I'm doing pretty good. The truth is that if you're not kind of moving with the group, you're not really participating in the group, and you have to move in with the group. I mean, that's where you're going to get your protects, your heals. That's where you're going to get your boons, because you're going to get that support. So standing as far back as I am right now, this is not the most ideal and optimal position for you to be in. You want to be where the commander tag is. So with just that aside, that little tidbit there, I believed I had just joined this group, and I think I was testing a build on my catalyst. Positioning, you're going to want to be where the tag's at. I'm not there. It's not normally where you want to be. Okay, you can still contribute if you're doing ranged, but I mean, if you're melee heavy, you do not want to be back here just swinging at the air. Okay, so moving on in the engagement. So everyone's just kind of moving on in here. We're going to kind of take it slowly at a time. Click back onto this. Okay, so now they are fully engaged right now. Okay, so right now, just the mob, everyone's firing off their skills. Now, I know you see the numbers, okay? Again, I'm kind of not in the group, and you've got a lot of downs already. So, a downs on our side, okay? You got the blues that's us. If you see the reds, that's the enemies. So there's a lot happening right now. And right now, so this is actually kind of crucial. So they kind of made a mistake here. Red made a mistake. They should have committed. They should have remained committed, or if they were going to move back, they needed to move back just a little bit to try to ease off the DPS circle that they're standing in. Now, why was this a mistake? This was a mistake because what ends up happening is that when the commander moves, there's always a tail. All right, the commander moved too abruptly, and I'm talking about the commander on the red team. The commander on the red team moved too abruptly, too quickly, and as a result, everyone's trying to squirm to follow commander. Everyone stays on tag. That's kind of the general rule. You go where the tag goes. And so because he moved too quickly, it created a tail. And when you have a tail, those are easy pickings. That's low-hanging fruit. And they can get picked off very quickly because then that is considered out of position. You can find yourself out of position very quickly in a Zerg group if you are not in the immediate vicinity of the tag. Hitting your skills is always important, but being in the vicinity of the tag is also important. Again, I know that I'm out of position here. I'm well out of position here. But in most cases, if you want to do the most, you're going to want to be on tag. So they're chasing tail because they're trying to reposition and try to recover. And because they tried to recover and they're moving. And so right now we're just eating their tail because he's moving and we're just eating their tail. Did you see all those downs that just went down there? Yeah, and at this point, there are so many that went down that now it's just we outnumber them, and now we're just cleaning house because now they're broken up. And look at all those downs. Look at that, and that's a win. Now I know that I see the damage GPS log over on the left hand side. My character's name is Aveline Valentessa. I'm 6th in that DPS position. We kind of won that out, but that wasn't necessarily because of me specifically. That was because the group ebbed and flowed with the tag, and the other commander made the mistake of trying to aggressively reposition their group, and not everybody on their team was on the same page. Numbers wise, I'm not sure if we were bigger than they were, but in most cases it actually doesn't really matter. If you have a group of 30, they can take on a group of 40 if they know what they're doing, and they can, if they've got the DPS and they've got the support, a group of 30 can definitely take out a group of 40. So It's not always a numbers game, even though you might think that it would be. It's not always a numbers game. So this was a good example of a win here. And now we're going to go to another clip. So this clip, this is a clip. We lost this fight. Okay. We're coming up here, and this is, we're coming up on hills. We're just crossing the bridge. Now, what you're seeing right now is that the red team is tucked on the the right hand side of the corner right there. So they're kind of waiting there at checkpoint. And the idea is to just take out anybody that dares enter. And that's why everyone moved in this group. Now, this is crucial right here. The supports and the stability are doing their job when they're laying down the roads here. You want to lay down basically as much support to try to get through as you want to do that. If these roads, or if anybody wasn't firing off the skills. Now, again, if you notice that where my position is, I reacted to this too late. I was in the back already. I was already doing damage, and I wasn't prepared to follow with this group. Now, thankfully, it doesn't exactly cost me, but at the same time, if this were any other situation, I'm in the dumb zone. Okay, where I'm at right now, this is not advantageous because the group is well up ahead of me, and I run the risk of getting picked off because I'm just the one. I'm one person. You got another person just behind me, and you will be very easily get picked off in choke points like this. So when they're laying down the bricks, they're laying down the stability. They're already hitting their healing skills to counter the initial spike damage that's going to inevitably show up, and any poles or dazes or anything like that can stop you in your tracks. And then at that point, you're just kind of the second you're CC bombed, like you're donezo. In most cases. So, like I said, even though I'm well out of position here, okay, now you notice so here's why this is bad, okay, and this is more of a shame on me than it is anything else. But this is a perfect example of what I just said. Now, thankfully, I had the ability to move from that downstate position into the group to then get rezzed. You notice that up on the top of the stairs here, you can see 2 downs on our side. Actually, you can see 3 over where that red mob is. Or the 3rd over where the red mob is. But that guy, he's done. he's in that mosh pit. He ain't coming out. But this is an excellent example of being out of position. And what this presents is, yes, even though they saved my life because they were in the group, anybody that has to take their time to pick you up is crucial time that is taking away from their skills. Now, albeit it's slightly minor, okay, so you get 1 or 2 and the most of the group is still there. It's relatively okay. However, as the fight persists, when people are taking the time to res other people, it takes away from them utilizing their skills. And if you've got 1, 2, 3 people not firing off their skills because they're busy trying to pick up other members, that's 3 people on top of the other members that are down that are not utilizing the skills, and that can snowball very, very quickly, and you will lose out on that engagement. So again, this is an excellent example of what it means. Like, if you're out of position, you ain't moving with the mob, you're done. And if you're outside the mob's radius, like, they ain't coming to get you. So this right here was not the smartest thing for me to do. Now here's why. Tag wants to hold the stairs position. That is where they want to hold. You don't move unless the tag moves. Now, I know I'm not setting myself up to be the best example for this, okay? Again, this is kind of what I'm telling you here in my normal runs, when I go with my the guild that I run with, I'm right on tag. I'm sticking with them. I'm doing what I can to stick with them, and you know, that's that. For this session in particular, I again trying out a new build, kind of get back into staff catalyst. I had some mixed results. It performed pretty fair, but it was all right. But that's not the point here. The point here is that I moved out of position here to go with these other roamers to try to get an edge by getting some more DPS, because that's what I'm playing, is DPS Catalyst. And this is a bit of a bad move on my part, because again, commander is holding on the stairs. You're going to want to stick with where the commander is holding. So again, right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to apply some pressure. And this isn't the smartest move, because I see I almost got pulled there. So yeah, am I applying some pressure here? Yeah, I'm applying a lot of pressure. But I'm one person, and any one of those people can immediately turn around and just focus me down. Very, very easily. I'm kind of poking at their back right now. Okay, so you see how they now moved in. Okay, that wasn't because I did anything. Tag saw an opportunity, because the person saw that they were looking away, and that they were putzing with another set of green group. Let me bring it back just a bit here. There was another group here, so there's, I know you can't really see it that well, but there are a few greens that are currently engaging, and that's what has everyone's attention on the other side. So unbeknownst to me, Tag is going to move over to take advantage of the distraction that's been created over there. So it's not because I'm there, it's because Tag saw the advantage and moved. So right now she just put on a veil there, just to kind of give him a little bit of a stealth advantage. This is a strategy that is commonly practiced, veiling, and it's where everyone just kind of walks through, gets a veil, and it's supposed to keep the enemies on their toes so that they don't fully track where you're going. That's what you're seeing here. So now they're moving in, but they are now getting wiped. So what happened was that they went in real heavy, and they were ready. And we're going to stop it there because that inevitably that was a lost fight. That is not something that you necessarily want to practice. What you want to practice is you want to stay with the group, is what I'm trying to imply here. You don't want to try to do what you saw here and kind of stick outside of the group here, or move before tag moves. It's not the most efficient way to play. Again, despite what you're saying, I can't tell how many times I've had to put up that disclaimer. I will reiterate though that if we bring it back here just a little bit, I'll bring it back a little more. All right, when they ran in to get the veil. Now this was a little. I wasn't gonna say that this was a waste of time, but this was a bit of a waste of time because somebody there was keeping track of the group on the stairs. They can see right over the railing, and they probably already saw that they were moving. So putting on the veil here would have given us an advantage if nobody on the red side noticed that the group on the stairs was moving. As you can see from where they're at, you can actually see down into the room and you can see the stairs. And so when they went in, they just went all in here. And all that the red team had to do was turn around and mow them down. And it looked like at that point, either not everybody was ready, or they walked into perhaps the worst choke point of all time. And that is a full area wipe. How I did not get pulled there is beyond me. And so that right there is it for today's episode. Let me know what you think. If you like it, if you don't like it, if you think the analysis helps, if you want to see more, y'all just let me know. It's something that I'm still learning, and I kind of want to engage in the community in some fashion, in some way. And I'm particularly passionate about, just kind of analyzing things that went well and things that didn't go so well, and what you can do to improve, and what it is that you need to look out for, and all that good jazz. So until next time, I will leave you with this. Okay, I did it wrong. No, I didn't do it wrong. I just didn't spell it right. And I'll leave you with this. That's what I meant to do. Always remember, say hi to your neighbor, be kind to one another, and I'll catch you all in the next one.